Remember everybody, there's some rather important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic the Hedgehog. Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001. Because between you and me, they're way past cool.
Hello everybody, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a video made for the first time on some brand new editing software, Movavi Video Editor Plus. This is only a 7-day trial version. It's probably going to cut me off, so if anybody knows if there's any more permanent video editors that I can get for free that work similar to Windows Movie Maker version 6, let me know. The last Windows update killed Movie Maker version 6. It not only did it uninstall it, but when I tried to reinstall it, it would just crash every time I tried to run it. So they must have built in a glitch into the new version of the Windows update that prevents the old software from running, which is kind of a dick move, but let's get on to making the toy. Alright, so here's what we're doing. The last figure for Sparklewolf404 is DJ Octavio. So, Angry Samurai Octopus Man. Well, in his octopus form, because before I made his man form. So, to get started, there was quite a lot of 3D printing for this one. Good old Corey Sonic fan helped us rip the models from Splatoon and made it printer ready. And, to get into the scale that I wanted, I had to do quite a lot of cutting. I had to separate the model into several pieces that I would put together like a puzzle afterwards. And the first part, Octavio's head, is basically the single largest object that I ever 3D printed. It took nearly 13 hours to complete, and I was really upset when I woke up in the morning to see how it was going, and it had this big gap in the middle, which I guess was just a flaw in the model that Corey didn't catch. This happens often, but I wasn't about to waste that much material and print another one, so fortunately there wasn't too much damage to the overall structure, and I was able to just fill it in with some epoxy sculpt, both completing the shape of his head and sculpting on his new eyebrows. Man, the audio recording quality on this thing sucks. It sounds like it's speeding me up and slowing me down. That must be some kind of lag. Anyway, the rest of his body, actually, like this, he kind of reminds me of that octopus guy from Hunter x Hunter. You know, that one chimera ant dude, like, this is what he looked like when he doesn't have a human host. You know, that kind of thing. Anyway, like, this part of his body also printed and was stuck onto the bottom. And this is the last time that Octavio will be able to stand under his own power, because I had to make the rest of his tentacles, which, of course, come to little points. So, once that was stuck on, like, there's no way that you're going to balance on such a tiny little thing. But don't worry, we'll put a stand in at the end, you'll see. Once this much was completed, like, we had the main body, and then, oh yeah, he has tentacles in the back as well, because he's an octopus and he has 8 tentacles. So the 2 in the back, I like to think of them as just kind of hanging back there like a mullet. And, you know, they were printed separately, stuck on, you know, yada yada, everything. All of this was to make it fit onto my printer's overall area, because, like, having these tentacles being part of the back would have made it too big to actually fit in my printer. So, yeah, that's the important thing about breaking down this thing into parts. And that is the core of Octavio. He has 6 tentacles so far, and as you can see, I already went and painted him up because at this point, like, this is the one biggest piece, and you know, I like to paint all the pieces before assembly. So now, he needs to have articulated arms, because this isn't an Octavio statue, it's an actual Octavio action figure. So, of course, Octavio needs arms. It took me some time to figure out how best to implement them. Did I want to go with pin discs? What figure had arms the right size? And ultimately, I remember that I had a couple of leftover Dr. Eggman arms from that one time I made Rotor. So, So yeah, we use an Eggman's arms. And I decided to include this picture of Octavio with Eggman's arms because that is very amusing to me. Once I had my fun, I modified the arms to look more like tentacles with some epoxy sculpt. Of course, he has his little DJ chain bracelets, and they are curled a very specific way, as you can tell. That is to hold on to his wasabi clubs. I'm assuming the wasabi are clubs because I can't imagine the wasabi being used as weapons in any other way. The wasabi are also 3D printed based off of the game model, and I stuck little pegs in there that would fit into holes in the tentacles so he would be able to hold and wield them. Oh, and for the record, I also printed a smaller version of the wasabi so that his humanoid form could hold a piece. So, you know, now humanoid Octavio, DJ Octavio has his wasabi for, you know, because wasabi is a dangerous weapon to Inklings and Octolings. I'm gonna go with that. Alright, seriously, this lag in the recording is really annoying me. On playback, it just sounds so terrible. And, like, you know, this is a completely new program. I have no idea how to alter the settings. I don't know how to fix this. But we have Octavio wielding his wasabi weapons, so all he needs are the rest of his accessories, which are accessories because you can take them on and off whenever you want. First, his shades. I couldn't just use the Barbie shades that I used for his humanoid form because this is much bigger. So again, the 3D model was printed out, and the ear hooks were all completely destroyed because just like when I tried to do the rookie's glasses, I guess something so thin just can't print that tall. Of course, I made new ear hooks out of craft foam, and these have little toothpicks embedded right at the ends so that you can stick them in the holes on the side of his head. And of course, a gold and paint job because this guy wouldn't be caught dead in anything less than gold sunglasses. Okay, so that just leaves one last part, the helmet. Now, DJ Octavio's helmet is a samurai helmet for which I had the 3D model, and I did print it for his humanoid form, but at this scale, it is way too big. There's no way that it would fit in my printer, and there was no way that I could chop it up into smaller printable pieces. It just wasn't happening. That means I had to go old school and actually make one from scratch using random bits of fodder that I happened to find. So the helmet is mostly a gumball machine bubble, half of one anyway, with craft foam and epoxy sculpt making all of its detailing. The brim of the helmet is just a piece of thicker foam. That was the easy part. And the hard part, well, the cool part, was figuring out how to make the rim that goes all the way around. So I actually did this by making a cone and putting the dome helmet on top and tracing out the parts of the cone that actually define the shape of the helmet. Once I had this, I cut that part out of craft foam and stuck it onto the helmet. Oh, another cool thing, this is the first time that I've used Flex Glue! Yep, somebody give JonTron another nickel because I just used another Flex product, and this stuff is really good. It actually works better than the Flex Seal. I bet I could put Death Egg robots together a lot easier with this stuff. So yeah, I use that to stick the rim of the helmet onto the dome part of the helmet, and this part I'm kind of proud of myself. To make the curled bits at the front, I used my 3D printer to make this little circle. It's a circle of plastic, literally a millimeter thick, done in the right curvature so that, for the helmet shape, and stuck onto the end, like in the picture. I used it to define the curve, and then once it was properly stuck on, oh, this is crazy glue, not Flex Glue. Flex Glue is not suited for this particular type of sticking job. I needed an instant bond, not one that would take 24 hours to cure. Once it was done sticking, I used a nail clipper to clip it away to, create this curve shape. Then it was only a paint job away from being the completed helmet. I also stuck a little peg in there so that it could go into a hole on top of his head so that you could set it on top of there and it wouldn't flop around. So why don't we go ahead and put the helmet onto the DJ Octavio figure and take a look at the completed set. And here he is, DJ Octavio, with articulated arms that have universal joints at the shoulders, elbows, and he has wrists. So, yay! He has all of Eggman's original articulation. The accessories are all removable, so you can take his shades off and put them on the helmet if you want. He can reach up and tilt his hat at a jaunty angle for your amusement. And of course, since he is an accessory with a figure with removable accessories, you can just strip everything down and have DJ Octavio stand there in the buff menacingly. A naked octopus is pretty intimidating. Alright, so thank you all for watching the video. Hopefully I'll get better editing software in the future. Signing off.